Okay.
All right. We're back.
We're back. Don't know what really happened, but we're gonna get it done. We're gonna continue to push. We're not gonna let nothing stop us. So hopefully that you can get back in because we had people up. So Tremaine, if you can see us now, please come on and chime in because I'm not sure if you're there or not. But we're gonna be talking about today, stick with Jesus. And so um, one of the scriptures that I want to cover in just a few seconds because I'm waiting on Millicent to kind of
Oh,
get
go
people.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So Hebrews 11:1 it talks about faith, and when it talks about faith, it's talking about what kind of substance do what kind of substance do you have? So in Hebrews 11:1 it says, now faith is the confidence in what we hope for and the assurance about what we do not see. So the faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of those things that may not be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that you have a twinkle in your eye, you have a spark in your heart about something. And it's something that drives you to push to accomplish that. And there's a space between you and your goal. There's a space between you and the accomplishment that you want to make. There's a space between you and you have a desire, but you also have an expected end. And what keeps us going in the Bible, it says that it's called faith. And the faith is a confidence, a belief, a substance, something that you can hold on to. And then the evidence of that is your victory. So what we want to do today is we want to encourage you and encourage ourselves is to stick with Jesus. So the main scripture is coming from 2 John in verse number 9. And I'll read that right now. It says, anyone who runs ahead and does not continue in the teachings of Christ does not have God. Whoever continues in the teachings has both the Father and the Son. So our goal today is if you feel like giving up, if you feel like you are so far away from God and He's on a mountain and you're in a valley, we want to see if we can encourage you and give you tools to close that gap. So this is something that I want to kind of express to you and see if you can kind of give us some feedback. I want you to think about some things that hold things together. And if you are able to type in a response, I would want you to type in a response right now. And I want to try to make sure that I phrase the question right. So Millicent, if you can think of a better way for me to ask the question, then just ask it too. I want you to think of something, and then I want you to type it in a response. Think of something that holds something together, that binds something together. I want you to type it in. And as you start typing in those responses, then I'm going to say them. Think of something that binds something together, holds something together.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see what we got.
Good morning, Craig, and good morning, Katrina.
Good morning. Good morning. Waiting on the response. Waiting on the response. Something that holds something together, that keeps two things together. You can think of anything that you can think of that binds two things together. I want you to type it in and then hit a comment so we can see what you come up with. Come on, type. Unless you're driving, don't type. If you're driving, don't type anything. I'm waiting. I'm extending wait time. I want to see who's going to give us some answers. Think of something that holds something together. Think of something that holds something together and then type it in. Waiting.
Katrina said glue, tape, and prayer.
Okay, so
right.
glue,
Tape,
and
prayer.
I want to focus on it. Don't think that I don't love God, but I want to focus on the glue and the tape. Glue holds something together. It's a binding agent that takes two things and keeps them together. Tape. You can take two pieces of paper, tape them together, and then you don't see the seam, but you know there's something holding that together. Does anybody else have any comments about something that can hold something else together? Come on, give it to us, give it to us. What else can you come up with? Good morning, Pastor Lou. Pastor Lou, I want you to think of something that holds something together. Think of something that can hold something together. And I want you all to type that in. Think of something that can hold something together. Miss Katrina said glue and tape. Is there anything else that you can think of that can hold something together?
Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, Rachel. Come on, people. Come on. Type it in. Type it in. Type it in. I want you to participate. I want to get some thoughts from you. We want to get some thoughts from you.
Oh, I thought it was another one too that we didn't mention this morning.
But I don't want you to say it because I'm waiting on them. Miss Katrina is the only one that's typing in a response. Come on, we need you to wake up. Wake up, people. I guess I didn't extend it enough wait time.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me one that you thought of.
Joint compound.
Joint compound. Yes. So you know when you are putting what is that stuff, sheetrock together, and you take that joint compound and you put it in those seams, then after you sand everything down, you don't see it because why? It's together. So these are some things that I came up with, and Miss Katrina came up with two. She said glue. She said tape. I said glue. I said tape. I said mortar. And mortar is what holds bricks together. I also said nails because you can nail something to something else and it holds it together. And I said Velcro. Velcro.
Concrete.
Concrete, yes.
Okay.
So Velcro can hold something together. And I want to stick on Velcro for a little while and kind of bring some things together. So when we talk about faith, and we talk about the faith being the faith being the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of those things not seen, we're talking about something that binds you to the Word and your relationship with God. What holds you together with Him when you are on the side of winning, and then when you're on the side of being defeated? What holds you together? What drives you to keep pushing and moving forward? Your faith. And so glue, tape, mortar, concrete, nails, Velcro, and then if you have pants, you know, you have stitching. Who wants to walk around and their pants come loose? Every seam in those pants have been stitched up so it holds them together. Even my wife's glasses, it's a frame, but it has two connecting pieces with screws so it holds it together. The lenses fit in a groove that holds it together. We want to make sure that we drive the point home that faith is something that holds you together in your relationship with God when things are going well and when things come crashing down. That is your glue. Safety pins, yes.
Okay.
These things are examples of something holding something together. When you build buildings downtown and they have all those steel pieces, they drive bolts through them or whatever, and they screw them together. Therefore, that holds it together. When you see a house being built after they pour the concrete and you see them frame everything up, well, there's some things that they screw into the concrete so that when they build the walls and they put a washer on the top of that and screw it down, that's what actually holds the wall up. They're not nailing anything down into the concrete. Everything's been joined together. So when we talk about that faith, you're going to need it in order to do anything in life. Without it, therein lies some situations and some things. So I am going to go to Proverbs chapter 18 and verse number 24. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when we talk about faith, when we talk about being able to be close to God, well, let's bring it home. Proverbs 18 and 24 says, one who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother.
Mhm.
So when we're going through tough times, when we're going through things that seem insurmountable, when we're going through health issues, and it seems like the doctors are only on the side of science, which 99% of the time they are, there is a friend that sticks closer than a brother. But that friend, I can say, will have difficulty sticking close to you when you don't have faith in the word that he brings to pass, and faith in the things that he has already placed in your life and in our lives.
Mhm.
That faith, you have to believe without a shadow of a doubt, even when things are very bad, even when things are whatever. When God asks you to step out past your comfort zone, that faith is what's going to keep you going. That faith is what's going to keep you grounded, because everybody
Mhm.
on the planet gets weak.
Right.
It doesn't matter who you are. I don't care how strong of a Christian you are, you will get weak. You will get weary. You will have doubts.
Mhm.
And so what we want to do is we want to really push you to increase your faith in God's word, that he will not say something to you or Millicent or myself
Mhm.
and not accomplish what he said. So that was Proverbs 18 and 24. I've already read Hebrews 11 and 1. So Millicent, I want you to go to Hebrews chapter 11 and verse number 6. And we're
Okay.
going to read that
All right. So Hebrews chapter 11
in verse number
and verse
6.
number 6
Yeah.
says, "And without faith it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him."
So without faith, it's impossible to please him. And when we're talking about sticking with Jesus, and we looked at and we briefly discussed those examples, we said glue, we said tape sticks things together, we said concrete, we said mortar, we said nails, we said safety pins.
Mhm.
So all of those things are so important as we drive home. Just a crystal clear example. Let me read what Pastor Lou said this morning. You're going to read it, Millicent, because you're closer to it and my glasses are not on.
Okay.
Yeah,
It says, Pastor Lou said, absolutely. Love and forgiveness is the bond that will hold any marriage together, for better or for worse. Even in the midst of our storms in life, with the help of Almighty God through Jesus Christ, by the power of the Holy Ghost, we win. For all things work together for our good, for we are his chosen. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder.
All right.
Be encouraged in the Lord. Oh, I am very proud of you all. To God be the glory for his awesome power at work in the both of you. Thank you, Pastor
Thank
Lou.
you.
We
Thank
love you.
you. And so we're talking about faith. And what's so important about that is, you can still be in a marriage covenant relationship and you still can have your partner have a decrease in faith or
Right.
a disbelief. Because sometimes stuff can hit you so hard that you don't even have time to put your hands down before you hit the ground. And so that's important. That if Millicent is going through something, I have to be their support. But I have to have faith in God that I'm strong enough to handle all of it while she's going through something that could be just a little bit tough for her. And the same thing with me. She has to be the same way for me, is that we could hit a wall and that wall could be serious. And so what I'm saying is, as we continue to trust in God, as we continue to um, seek after him, because it said that you must believe that he exists and he rewards those who earnestly seek him. So, a whole lot of questions start to rise up.
And I have a question for you. So, what would you say to that spouse that's trying and believing for the marriage to get better? It's not where it should be or where they want them to be, and they're getting a lot of pushback from the spouse. So, as far as faith is concerned and holding on to that, what would you say to that person?
I'm trying not to sneeze, sorry. I would say, I think you need to work on yourself. You know, I think that when you have two couples and they're having some difficulty in coming to agreement,
Right.
because two people can't walk together unless they agree.
Correct.
That's marriage. That's a proverb. So that's just not talking about marriage. That's talking about in covenants and relationships where people have goals, when they have a business. I mean, you can't walk together unless you agree on whatever it is you're trying to do. So I think that when a person on one end is giving a whole lot of effort, and you have another one that's really not, or maybe not be at that faith level that they should be at, then I think that in retrospect, you need to really focus and work on you. And in working on you, that doesn't disqualify you from still praying for your spouse, still lifting them up in the name of Jesus. But there's some things that no matter what you say or do, it has to be a God thing, and he has to do it. The thing is that you have faith in the prayers that you sold out is because you believe in the covenant that you made with God, and you believe in the covenant that you made with your spouse. And so even though that sometimes that can be tough, I think when you focus on you, not in a selfish way, but I'm talking about I focus on you because God, I may need to go deeper. Maybe the problem that I have with my spouse is what I'm looking at may be at a surface level.
Right.
Maybe, Lord, I need to go deeper. And so that may require me not to separate myself from my husband, but in my mind, I need to go deeper because God could show me something that could be something embedded that people may not pay attention to, but it could be the catalyst for what the wall or the separation or the space between two people is. Because we might have known, oh, that's not really what it is. No, it's deeper than that.
Right.
It's just a surface thing that we're looking at. And so you still pray over your spouse. You still pray over the atmosphere of your home. You still uphold yourself and do what is right in the sight of God. But as you take care of yourself so that you don't allow for yourself to be frustrated, you still have the peace of God within you, because you still need that, because you still need to be happy.
Yeah.
That's my answer. I don't know if that's right, but that's
and I actually came up with the same answer because I was speaking with someone on yesterday, and this is the issue. But at the same time, while you're doing all of that, you can't be mouthing off, going off, letting them take you to that level and you going back and forth. There's a time for you to be quiet.
Yes.
Be and just go into that place of peace with God. You don't have to be, going back and forth, because that just makes the tension worse. That just makes the problem worse. And then by the time you keep doing that, you get so far past what the real problem is that you just lost in the end.
And then some people do that because they want to divert. So if they're arguing or get you to get upset because they know they can push your buttons, then it's really diverting from the real issue, which they really don't want to face.
Right.
So therefore, if I can go and say this, or I can act like I ain't paying attention to her, then this is how she gonna act. And then I'm gonna say to her, see there, your God don't work. That's why I don't want to listen to him, because this way you act, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And so now you have to take a different approach, because you want to present yourself as blameless. You want to present yourself as somebody that is connected. Don't get me wrong, everybody's human, and you shouldn't. You got to think about how the enemy wants to always keep the wedge. The wedge.
That's it.
If the wedge is always there, he wins. But when you focus on you and say, Lord, look here, if there's something in me that really is still a catalyst for all this, it really needs to be addressed. And in that time, while you dealing with me, Lord, and I'm crying out to you, and I'm reaching out to you, and I want to be better, but I really just don't know how to do that, I actually work on my husband, or I actually work on my wife, so that we can get to come together. Right. And the things that separate us that seem so strong, now it's weak, because now we've come together and we've defeated that, because there are some things that we need to deal with in each other.
And you have to do that, because if you don't, and the devil know he can just get that little piece, right in between you, He gonna keep you going around in that same circle,
Yeah.
having you focusing on the little stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's the little foxes that spoil the vine.
Yeah.
He gonna have you to keep focusing on the little stuff, going around in that same circle,
Mm-hmm.
till you just finally throw your hands up and like, I done had enough.
And then you find yourself 366 days later still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So now we want to really try to focus, and this ain't just for you all, because there's some things in here that I need to address now, because I'm looking at some things that, definitely can be pushed up and dealt with and really just focused on. And so I'm gonna, we need to read a couple more scriptures. And so Pastor Ludin already hit Romans 8:28, but go on and find it.
Okay.
Romans 8:28. All things work together for the good. She hit it already. But go on and hook us up with that scripture, Romans 8:28.
Right. So 8:28 says, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose.
So you're going to go through some turmoil. You're going to go through some things. Some because you choose to go to it. Why? Because maybe we don't listen to God. He be telling us those small things and we just kind of fan it off. Or because you're going to be tested, that shows that, hey, where you going to run to when you get tested? Are you going to curse God? Are you going to say, this doesn't work? I've tried all this and, I quit. Or are you going to really focus on, hey, Lord, I see some things in me I need to deal with. And I see some things that my wife have that, I could be praying about instead of always pointing out that she got a flaw, always pointing out that he have a flaw. Lord, let me just lift that up to you. But in the same time, hey, go and work on me. Because I know there's some things in me that ain't right, that ain't pleasing to you. So go and work on me.
Right.
So I can get to that space where my relationship with you is good, great, awesome, wonderful, magnificent, outstanding, stupendous. What is that doggone word, stupendous?
Yes.
Okay.
And a good place to start too is if it's is always arguing, bickering, or just that tension. God help me to learn how to not sow discord in my own home.
Yes.
That's a good place to start.
Yeah, flying around, dropping bombs in your own home. You got all you flying around in your home, dropping bombs, boom, 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 boom. And so that's something that we can work on. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna read. We got what? We got one more scripture. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse number 2.
All right.
And then we can go on and go through the devotional, and we can kind of tie some things together because there's some questions in there that I think that it was a little hard for me. Questions in there that are hard for me.
Okay.
All right.
Hebrews 12 and verse 2 says, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. He went through all that for the ultimate reward.
Yeah. And so I think that when we get out our own way and we stop whining and complaining, mm-hmm. the actuality is that Jesus went through this stuff. And that's why you have somebody to go to. Well, when I talk to him, I don't think he's listening. Maybe because you're talking while you talk. Maybe you're talking about God is talking, where can he anything? Right. But I know that there are going to be some dark times. And there are also going to be some just wonderful, great times. Mm-hmm. So you have to know that no matter what it is, he is the one that you go to first.
Right. And let me read verse 3. It also says, consider him who endured such opposition from sinners so that you will not grow weary and lose heart.
So that you won't give up and quit. Now, I ain't taking the word and changing it. I just add that.
So he went through this to be an example, to show you that it can be done.
Yes.
You can go through all of that and still make it and get to the ultimate goal.
And that's the win. Win over the situation with the enemy, mm-hmm. defeat him at his own game, let him go on and do his foolishness, but then you go to God. He takes something away from you, you go to God. He threw a wall up in the air, you go to God. He do something at your job, you go to God. Your car break down, you go to God. So then after a while, he'll be like, well, why you didn't turn to me? Because you have no power. That's why I don't turn to you. All right, Mr. Rodney, what we got? You gonna read that?
Rodney said maybe your relationship or marriage is just mirroring your relationship with God. Ooh.
That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That hurts.
Yeah. Marriage is supposed to represent Christ's love for the church. So if your marriage is going through it, maybe a spiritual marriage,
Mm-hmm.
because the church lives within us to Christ needs working on. And if you fix your problem with Jesus, it will show you work on your marriage on earth, if that all makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes
that
absolutely
make perfect sense.
1000% sense.
Yeah, you gotta
Completely. Yes, that
you
is
gotta,
it.
if you have a disconnected relationship with God, then you're gonna be an easy target for the enemy.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, he harpooning you. You know, he
Mm-hmm.
harpooning us. If we got a weak relationship with God, oh yeah, darts are coming, bullets are coming, bombs exploding, all kind of stuff, bridges falling down, you
That's
know,
it.
valleys getting deeper, mountains getting higher. It's because, we're not connected to the
Mm-hmm.
source.
That's it.
And so that's something that we are not far from, or we better another. Hey, I saw some stuff in here I need to address.
When
And
you're not
so
connected to the source, you have no what?
you have no power. All right. So I'm gonna read this, and I want to make sure that your ears are open. So hey, Miss Diana Carter.
Thank you.
All right.
And Rodney, thank you for that. That
Yeah,
was
Rodney, you hit it hard,
on
my
point,
brother.
man.
You put it down. Thank you for giving a fresh perspective. That way, the others that are looking and listening can really take from that. So this is the devotional for today that we are covering, which it says, "Stick with Jesus." Faith is not a one-time prayer at summer camp. It's not a few good works to ease our conscience. It's not serving God on Sunday and pleasing ourselves through the week. It's not a feel-good message on a t-shirt. It's not a tradition, a lifestyle, or a social activity. Faith is an all-in, life or death transforming belief in Jesus who died for our sins. Now here comes the multitude of questions that slap me all across my face, neck, chin, chest, and everywhere else. You gotta hear this, and it comes not from me, it comes from what I'm reading. It says, are you putting your hope for tomorrow in your faith of yesterday? Ooh, I'm gonna read that again, just in case you had dipped away cooking breakfast. Are you putting your hope for tomorrow in your faith of yesterday? And has that faith endured? Are you still believing, obeying, serving, loving, praying, trusting? Are you loving the Lord with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength? Pray today for faith that lasts for life. Pray for perseverance to keep growing and learning the word. Pray for trust in God through whatever comes your way. Pray for Jesus to fill you with his love for everyone. True faith goes on, believing until the end. Here is a trustworthy saying: if we die with him, we will also live with him. If we endure, we will also reign with him. That is 2 Timothy 2 and 11 and 12.
Okay.
So we want to encourage you to keep believing Jesus, give your life to follow him, and know you're his forever. Wow, there's a lot of things going on in there. If I just dealt with question number one, I could deal with that for the next couple of months. Are you putting your hope for tomorrow in your faith of yesterday?
Wow.
Are you still living on what God did yesterday when you got to push on forward to tomorrow? Because the faith that you had yesterday may have to be increased on what you need to face for tomorrow.
Okay.
Ooh, punch number one. I got sucker punch, got knocked to the left. Ooh, then it says, has that faith, if you did believe in the faith of yesterday, has it endured? And if you are transparent, your answer should be no. It didn't endure. because God is not still on yesterday, because he looks at your future going forward. He knows that you need that extra push, that extra effort, that extra support. But if you still talking about something healed you from 10 years ago, what about what you can help somebody get healed from 10 days from now?
All right.
What about that? Are you still believing? Are you still obeying? Are you still serving, and have you quit? Do you still walk in love? Is prayer even an answer for you? Is it an exercise? I don't care how you do it. Well, I don't pray. I don't believe in that. Okay, that's a legitimate response. But what I would say is this: if you don't pray and you want to exercise like other people exercise in the weight room, just start praying over your food. That's prayer. Pray when you get up in the morning that you have a smile. That's prayer. You start building muscle movement. Pray that you get to your destination safely. That's prayer. Pray for somebody else, even though you may not tell them, but you hear them saying something about, wow, blah, blah, blah. Pray for them. And then ask them in a couple of days, hey, how did that work out for you? And then when they said, it actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was, I was praying for you. You're building strength. You're growing. Now your relationship is getting better because your faith is getting stronger. And that was the whole premise of the lesson. If we're going to stick with Jesus, we have to have faith. But these things come up that kind of kick us in the face. And some of them are things that are self-inflicted. Because if we are not obeying, it's self-infliction. If you're not trusting God, self-infliction. If you're not serving people, self-infliction. If you're not obeying the Lord, self-infliction. If you refuse to persevere when things get tough and quit. So
putting your own agenda before God's, self-infliction.
And then blaming the devil. He ain't did nothing, you did it all.
I think I said it before, and I'm going to keep saying it because God gave it to me. This is a year of responsibility.
Help me be responsible.
Huh?
Help me be responsible.
Help you be responsible.
Help me be responsible.
I have some tools for that.
Okay, I'm working on it.
But that's just the whole thing. The year of responsibility. The year of responsibility with your finances, with your family, with your job, with yourself. Because if you're not being responsible for the things that are going on with yourself, your health, your physical, mental, spiritual, if you're not being responsible for those things, it's self-inflicted.
Good morning, Mr. Joe. I'm gonna call you when I get off. When we sign out, I'm gonna call you because I need to tell you something and let you know something. So I'm gonna call you, I promise. I am so pumped up, but I'm also exposed, and so it's just things that that you either should be doing and you don't do. And you just, and the thing about it, it ain't even nothing to beat yourself up over. It's to just be honest that you actually either were not doing those things or are not doing those things, and you can do them now. It's not, hey, come on, let's go with it.
And all that stuff about, this, and I hear this so many times, well, it's not the end of the month yet. I'm gonna wait till the beginning of the month. Or it's not, I'm gonna wait till the beginning of the week. Why?
You don't have time.
Start it right now.
You don't have time to wait till the end of the week because you might not get to the end of the day.
That's right.
Your faith you may have to have enough faith in your life just to get to the next day. And some people, that's what it is. So with faith and all of these things that we're trying to build, because we remember, for those that's chiming in now, we talked about what are those things that can bind something together. We said nails. We said glue. We said tape. We said mortar. We said what else? Concrete. We said
joint
compound, and we said safety pins, and also Velcro. So let me go back to Velcro. Velcro makes a very distinct noise when it rips apart. And just think about that noise when you start quitting And that's that noise when you rip that Velcro apart. That's a noise that goes up to heaven that God doesn't like, because you shouldn't quit, and neither should none of us. When you rip that Velcro, shh, that's a noise. And that's saying to God, you quit on something that you shouldn't have quit on. And so that's why we are encouraging you, just like we're encouraging ourselves. Have faith, trust, and believe. Do not give up. You may get punched, you may stagger, but you will not fall. And even if you fall, don't stay down.
That's right.
Get back up. You have the tools to get it done. You have a support system. You have a voice. And if you didn't have a voice, you can sign. If you can't sign, you can dance. You have a way to communicate with God to say, hey, I need some help in these areas. Help me so that I can grow, so that I can be a better husband, a better father, a better leader, so I can be a better wife, a better mother, a better whatever it is.
Right.
You can do it. Don't give up. Don't quit. Keep the faith.
And I'm gonna say this, just like I tell my patients all the time, you know, because I deal with those patients that have diabetes, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, you know, all of those things. It can be overwhelming if you try and do everything at one time.
Yes.
Pick one thing. And I say pick one thing that you struggle with the most. What is that? Okay, I may have I'm addicted to Coca-Cola. So I wake up with one. I have one at lunch. I may have one with my dinner. Okay, and you're doing that 7 days a week. Well, for the next 14 days, just have two. Have one with lunch and have one with dinner. You done cut out one. And then you just, once you accomplish that, then you just go to the next thing. So it's the same thing in your spiritual walk. It's the same thing with your marriage. If I'm just doing that one thing that's just irritating that person, irritating my spouse, let me try to work on that one thing.
Yeah.
One thing at a time. All this stuff didn't happen overnight. So you pray about that thing, just take it one step at a time. Because as long as you getting up and you got breath in your body, you got another day, another chance to do something different.
So Joel said procrastination is never good unless it's the season of being still. After you have done all you could do or could have done. Yeah. So, you know, and that's something that I had to work on that. And still is working on that. You know, don't procrastinate. Go on and hit it, do what you need to do. And so starting in this year, you know, Millicent has been very supportive in making sure, hey, you got your things together, you got your calendar together, you got what you're gonna do, what you need to do, you got any work you gotta do tonight, you know. If you're not gonna do it tonight, I'm gonna set the alarm so you get up in the morning, hey, you need to get up and go. And so I have been so blessed, and I've seen some improvement. I still got some ways to go, but you know, it just again, it's just like I tell people, you know, and I told a kid this, you know, because one of my students, he cursed a lot. I said, man, you curse so much you don't understand. I said, if you curse 25 times a day, can you just take it down to 24 in the morning? You know, and then take it down to 23. He said, why you say it like that? I said, because you know you're going to cuss again. So I'm asking you just cuss less until it becomes that you don't have to do it.
Right.
I said, it's not the only form of communication. So, but sometimes as Christians, you know, we just want to like beat somebody up. That stuff don't bother me like that. You know, I know that it's not appropriate to say words like that. Yes, I truly get that. But the reality is, you have to give people some what they call some strategies.
Right.
Because they may not, they don't come from that.
You have to meet them where they are.
Yeah, and if you got to meet them right where they are. You can't just say, okay, you need to do it in this way because I'm a Christian. Come on now. You got to understand that we don't even know how they grew up or whatever. So you got to meet them where they are and give them a strategy. And then check in on them. Hey, how's everything going?
Right.
How's that working for you? Because not only do we need to have the faith, you know, and we're trying to work with ourselves and then other people, you know, just check in on them and say, hey, did that work out for you? Is that going okay? You know, what do we need to support you in? That's kind of what it is.
And you know, Tara said get you a support system.
Yes.
So the thing is, you can't just, you know, somebody come to you with something and you give them a word and then you just leave them, drop them. You know, like you said, go back and check on them.
Yeah.
You know, because then they start feeling like, okay, well, I got somebody I know gonna get in there and pray for me and help me and things like that. You know, you have to have a support system. It's real hard to do it by yourself.
Oh, let me read this one.
Okay.
Because I can see myself in some of that. So Rodney said, Lord, I suck at keeping a schedule. I'm more of an improviser. I may know how to handle things on the fly, but that also means I may not put the best effort in planning, and a man without a plan is destined for failure. I can agree with you on so many levels because there are some things in there that is just like me. So I think what I would encourage you to do right now on this week is, really focus in on what you want to accomplish this week.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's too much, just focus in on what you want to accomplish for the rest of this day.
Mm-hmm.
What are 2 or 3 things that you want to get done today? And we won't worry about the week because that could be overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
If sometimes you're like me and it's at this last minute stuff. So let's look at what we can focus on accomplishing today.
Right.
1 or 2 things that, hey, I'm going to get these things done.
Mm-hmm.
I can check these things off and I'm good. And then you just go on and push it to the next day. And let's look at that. And then right then when we're not going to be on next Saturday.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what we might have to do is do a check-in on Wednesday. I have to go to work. We got something going on at the school. And so we won't be able to broadcast. So right then we'll check in and Millicent's gonna hold me to this because it's gonna be me check. Well, we can check in with the group, but personally, I need to check in on you, myself, so that way that holds me accountable for checking in on you to see were you able to get a couple of those things done as you put it to paper.
And when I was younger and the kids were a lot younger, so that's a lot of energy to keep up with. I know for me personally, I had to have a checkoff list. I had a to-do list. And for me, I had to put a time limit on my stuff. So I need to get the kids together. I have to go to the bank. I have to go make groceries. I want dinner cooked by a certain time, and then we got to do homework and all these other things. But to keep myself on track, I made that list and I put a time frame on there. It has been proven for me personally that when I do that, I get at least 90% of the stuff done, if not all of it, on my list.
So that's what I think I need to do this week. I need to do that this week. So it's not that I'm not putting things down because she's helping me with that. Now I need to go and put a scheduled time when I need to complete that. I've been I would say the last 2 weeks, or let's say I won't say 4 2 weeks. I've been able to tell Millicent these are some things that I had put down, and these are things I actually got done. Because sometimes on that list, and she knew that I didn't get all of them done. So that was the priority for the next day. But I think now put the things that I want to get done, and then highlight the ones that are very important that I need to put a timeline on, because those things that's a non-negotiable. Hey, it has to be done. So right now I'm gonna be checking in on you because this is something I need to work on for me too. And she's very, very supportive in helping me do that because she's way more organized than I am. And even me talking with my team this week, I started letting them know maybe they don't understand me and know me very well in the way that they should. And so I basically told my team, I said, look, my mind is like super big. And I said, my mind looks at things like so futuristic. So I need you all to help me break it down into smaller, manageable steps, because that's why I need y'all help in. So I was able to be, transparent with that, talking with my team because I needed that support. And so, I don't have no problem with telling nobody the truth. The whole thing is, what are you gonna do with it? And because I got a right that support me, she's not gonna let me fail. But that's not everybody. And the question came up earlier today about, the one that is faithful and the one that acts faithless. So again, we have to work on ourselves. And that, working on yourself would mean that the question that came up, or whoever said about getting a support system, then you would need to do that. If you're having a little struggle in your relationship with your husband or wife, you start working on yourself. Then you reach out to that support system that will help you to be able to still connect with God, but also address the things that you see in yourself that, could be holding you back,
Mhm.
or keep that wedge in between. So, I think that we have really not just scratched the surface on things today. I think that we looked at a wound and we went beneath the skin layer.
Okay.
There are several layers of skin. And so we're not all the way down there to the deepest part, but I think we've opened up the wound. And so that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. So now, yes, sir, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna make sure I call you right now. So my thing is now, how do we continue in? And like I said, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of those things not seen. So every single time that you connect with God today or tomorrow or the next day, celebrate the win, because you're building your faith with the small things. Celebrate those wins. And you might have to do some tally marks on a piece of paper. How many times did I win today with my faith? And you'll find that you've got a lot more faith than you think. You'll find that there's a whole lot of things that you have, you trusting and believing God for, and you're actually on the path that you need to be on. You start tallying down and celebrating the small wins. And they're going to become very big to you at the end of the week.
Right.
You're going to be saying, wow, I had the faith to do all these things. 500 times God did something, or 35 times, or 80 times in this one day. I had faith to believe in this, and this, and God got me home safe. That's faith. You sitting down in the chair and it don't break. That's faith. Not because of your weight. We just trust the chair that it's going to hold us no matter what the size of us is. That's faith. The fact that you can open a door because you could get locked in a space. That's faith. You get on the elevator and you get off. That's faith. Because you don't always get off the elevator. Sometimes you get stuck in there. So think about those things that may not be something that you believe is faith. You get in there, you expect to get down to the next floor on the elevator. You get on an airplane and you expect to get to the next place without any difficulties or scares or whatever. And we already know, dealing with stuff this week about crashes, that, faith, you understand, faith. And so it comes in so many different forms, but you thinking that it's just this. No, you have faith that when you cut your water on, that it's on. If it comes on, thank God. It's faith. These, I'm talking about small things that you can just keep telling yourself, and you see the win.
Right.
Start your car, come on, that's faith at work. You press on the brake and slow down, faith at work. Because stuff that's man-made can fail.
Yeah.
And we know that, no matter what it is. So I am very, very happy that we were able to open up a wound and talk about sticking with Jesus, no matter what. You have the tools. You have the faith. If you don't have a support system, then I want you to build one. It don't have to be 30 people. It can just be 1 or 2 people that you can trust and believe in. We don't need no whole circling of the wagon, because you got, people got to earn trust now. You don't go giving it out. Right. You don't just walk around with a chest of diamonds and trust people. You have to get them to. They have to. You have to get them to earn your trust. That's right. So LaWanda,
she has arrived. Good morning.
LaWanda has just finished cooking breakfast and doing her workout and her what's that new stuff now? Poly is like the stretching and stuff.
I have no idea what
it's
that is.
It's that new health thing. And so we are so excited about the extension of your faith in the things that you want to accomplish, in the marriage that you want to build. One brick, one board, one string rope at a time, whatever it is that you say will connect you.
And don't try to take on the whole thing at one time, because it will become overwhelming and you will fail.
So just pick one thing, like Millicent said. And just like I explained with Rodney, if there's a couple of things that you definitely want to get done today, I want you to write those things down and get those things done today. No exceptions, no excuses. Get it done. And so be blessed. We are so grateful and thankful for you. We pray that God will extend your faith. Do not give up. Do not quit. You will get weary sometimes and you will get knocked down. Get up, shake the dust off, put your fist back up, and swing with intentionality. Not swinging with wildness and you just swinging at anything. Swing that you make a connection with the devil's face, eye, nose, lips, neck, throat, chest, hip, whatever. You even have a hip. But you make sure that you make a connection, boom, and punch him and knock him down. He's trying to knock you down. So let's get him knocked down. So
we're not going to be on next Saturday.
Yeah.
Because like you said, he has to go to work, and we got UIL competition Saturday morning. So we will do a check-in
Yes.
the middle of the week,
Yes.
and then we will see y'all. I guess we'll have to do. I guess we can do another check-in. So
we need to do a check-in because I hate that we're not gonna be able to do it on Saturday. So we're gonna do something so that we can connect with you guys because we don't like being away from you. So and we want to be a part of the successes this week. Because remember, every time you extend your faith this week, I want you to tally it down, tally it down, tally it down.
Oh, we're getting a lot of mad faces. We know.
Okay.
We're sorry.
We
don't like being away from y'all, definitely. So
we're trying to figure out what we can do, but I do have to go to work because we have a robotics competition that we're going to be sponsoring, and my daughter's going to be singing, and I know she's going to place. Our prayers that she gets a 1 because the 1 is the strongest score.
Yes,
and so she has a voice coach, and she's been doing well with her voice coach. So we look forward to her winning this UIL competition. I think this will be her first one in high school.
Yes. That's great.
Because she's been always competing with the whole choir. But some of these are solos, and so we're looking forward to that. So we will check in, and we'll figure it out so that we can keep it coming and keep it going. We love each and every one of you. We thank you for giving us your time, giving us your comments, helping us to build and grow together, because we are not as strong as each other. We're strong as we bind one to one.
Right.
So thank you so much. Be blessed. Have a great day. I don't know what else. You got to close this out.
I got to close this out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, and we'll tell her that too. We will see you in the middle of the week, and we'll do a short, quick message, I guess. Yeah. And discuss some marriage matters, more marriage matters, because your marriage
matters. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right.
We love y'all. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
And we'll see you in a couple of days.
Yes.
Bye. You want it? No, I don't want it in.
Okay. That's a good thing.